Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Funk and Friends. I'm Josh Funk, and I am here because I have been stuck at home for a while, and I love to go to meet people at bookstores, at libraries, at conferences, and I've been missing out on that. And so I decided that I wanted to try to connect with some of my friends that I don't see as often as I used to. And so I'm starting this little series of videos called Funkin' Friends. I've been in the writing world for a few years now, and I'm used to traveling a decent amount. And so tonight I invited my friend Charnaie Gordon to join me and chat a little bit. And so here we read. So she's about to join the conversation, and then I'll adjust my camera accordingly because I don't know how. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm terrific. And yourself?
I'm great. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
cool.
Okay?
Yeah. Thanks for joining me today. As I was saying a little bit as you were joining, that I get to connect with a lot of authors and teachers and librarians and readers during the normal school year, and then during the summer during conferences. But right now I'm missing that, so I wanted to try to find a way to connect with some of my friends that I would bump into, that I would see, and although we've never met in person,
Yes.
you live only one state away. You're in Connecticut, right?
That's right. I'm in
Yeah.
Connecticut.
So I'm in Massachusetts, and but I just looked it up, that the first time I connected with you on Twitter was in June of 2016.
Wow.
I just looked at that. So you've been blogging for about five and a half years now.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that correct? Yeah. So what tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into this.
Yeah, I basically so I love to write and I love to read. So at the time when I started the blog, I had just had my kids, and I had my kids back to back. They're 15 months apart. So my kids were 1 and 2 when I decided to start blogging. I was really just looking for a creative outlet, and I chose blogging, and I decided to start writing a blog about books, since I like to read and write. And people would always ask me for book recommendations for their kids as well as for themselves. And so that's really how I got started. And at the time when I started, I had no idea that it was going to kind of take off the way that it has. But it's been a great journey so far.
Yeah, and I think you're doing great work and really, really important things that are things have been going on in the last few years in the publishing industry, but I think more change needs to happen. And we've seen all the reports about the number of books about and by people of color and underrepresented voices. And I think that you shining a light on that is something that's necessary and very important. And I think that, I don't know, do you want to talk a little bit more about what you're seeing and yeah.
Yeah. So when I first started, there was, especially like on Instagram, there was me and one other person talking about diverse books. That's it. Everybody else who was on the platform was just talking about, other types of books, not necessarily diverse books. And so I saw the need for that very early on. Instagram was a very white-centered space when it came to books for children.
Sure.
And the publishing industry as a whole is a very white-centered space.
Yes.
But I saw the need for that early on, and that's what I decided to start focusing on. And it took a while for people to start catching on, but it took me probably about 3 years to really start gaining traction. And now, of course, with everything going on, diversity is like the thing.
Yeah. Well, it's something that I think has always been a problem, but white people, especially white men like me, we didn't it didn't matter to us because it didn't affect us, and that's a problem, and that's a big problem. And I think that the last few months, but the last few years, groups like We Need Diverse Books, and there's other groups that are shining a light on this. But yeah, publishing is super white.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of white privilege in the industry. There are not enough agents of color. There are not enough editors, and just going up and down the line, it's something that, I mean, I go to writing conferences, I see what it's like, and and education conferences, it's very similar. So I was wondering, you had your kids started 50 States, 50 Books.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I actually got some questions. I posted on all the different social medias, and people, a couple questions that they had were, one, tell me about that. How did that get started? And how can other people do things like that, even on a smaller scale, on a local scale? How can you get that going?
Sure. So we started that in 2018 in the summer. And I just kind of had this idea, like I wanted my kids to become involved in like literacy in some sort of way, right? I wanted them to have a social kind of platform, an initiative, or a project that we were working together as a family.
And they were 6 and 8 at the time, or something. Is that right?
Well, they're 6 and 7 now, so they
okay.
Were 5,
oh gosh, wow.
5 5 and
okay.
4 and 5 probably. Yeah, 4 and 5. And so I came up with the idea, 50 States, 50 Books, but I wanted it to, and I came up with the name because I wanted us to focus on donating books to people in the United States. I didn't want to give to, kids in different countries. I wanted to stay here. And so I just kind of was thinking about names, and I'm like, okay, I want to give books to, I want to come up with a project where we can give books to kids in each of the 50 states. And I was like, oh my God, that's it. 50 States, 50 Books. And so that's how the name came up. But I basically just started, right? And because at the time, I had a larger platform on Instagram. The first thing I did is I just hired a graphic designer that I found on Upwork.com. And I paid her, and I was like, hey, I have this idea. I don't know if it's going to take off or not, but would you design a logo for me? And she did it. So as soon as I had the logo, I created their Instagram page, I created their website, and I got all of that done within like a day because I'm a techie.
Yeah, is that your background? Are you like a coder, or?
Yeah, I'm a computer programmer. So I got all the technical stuff set up. And once I had all of that stuff set up, about it on my Instagram page. And I just said, I have this idea for my kids' initiative. This is what we're going to do. I didn't know that people would actually be interested. And everybody was like, the response was overwhelming. People absolutely loved the idea. And so what we do with 50 States, 50 Books is we collect diverse children's books for kids ages birth to 17, and we donate them to 50 books at a time. We donate them 50 books at a time to each of the 50 US states. And we primarily give to places that are in need, right? So we give to schools, libraries. We've given to a children's hospital last year. Let's see, what else did we give to?
So if people wanted to donate to this, how would they get in contact? Just go to the 50 States, 50 Books Instagram?
.net.
Okay.
So our Instagram page, they can go to the kids' website, which is 50states50books.net. It's linked in their Instagram profile. And our mailing address is right there for people to make donations. And
donations of books, new books, gently used books?
Yeah, okay. So we accept new and gently used diverse
books.
Children. We don't take many books for adults.
Yeah, well, no, that's fantastic. I want to ask, you do so much, across, well, you said you're a computer programmer, which I actually knew because we've emailed in the past, but I also, what do you do on a daily basis? what is it you, I mean, you're on social media, you're working with nonprofits, you're donating your time, you're
Yeah.
donating, your energy, but what else do you do?
Besides,
Well, I don't know, just, yeah, how do you spend a
fun,
day?
stuff that I fun.
Yeah, sure, go for it. Tell me.
Well, now, especially with COVID, I mean, I've always been a homebody anyway, so I'm
Yeah.
not the like social butterfly hangout type, unless it's like with people that I like, people that I trust, that kind of thing. But we do things like, I love being outside, being outdoors. So lots of outdoor time, movies when we used to.
Yeah, man. I have I did read I have researchers. My wife is a doc student, so she's great at researching. But she found out that you are a certified COVID-19 contact tracer. Is that correct? What do you do for that? How does that work?
I took a course online with John Hopkins University,
Yeah.
and it was just a course that they have, and I don't know if they still have it, but it was a free course, and at the end of it, there was the option to get certified, and you had to pay for the certification, and so I paid for it, and I got certified.
Have you used it?
I haven't. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it goes on the resume.
Yeah.
Did you have any books that do you want to share, or any books you want to talk about that you're really into right now? Some new ones. I mean, I want to learn from you. The whole point of me doing this little interviewee thing was because I wanted to catch up with friends, and also I figured that other people would have interest, but also I want to learn and entertain, hopefully, people. But yeah, I want to learn. So what are some books you love?
I didn't have any books. I didn't know what kind of questions.
That's okay. Just tell me some names. We can Google them.
Oh, which is the one that I just posted it. Oh gosh, a couple of days ago. What is it? A book.
I got your page right here. Hold on. It's Here We Read with two E's and we. Everyone should. I mean, probably mostly your followers that are watching, but posted about I Too Am America, Curls, Swashby in the Sea, Anti-Racist Baby, A Girl Like You, Great Leaders.
My stories. Oh my God. Oh no.
Oh, in your stories. Yeah, I don't know about that.
My stories. I haven't talked about it yet on my feed.
Oh, okay.
Called oh gosh. Oh, A Place Inside of Me. A Place Inside of Me.
Okay.
Zetta Elliott.
Oh, Zetta Elliott. Yeah, she's great. She does the Dragons in a Bag.
It is. I mean, hands down. I have to write a post about it, like on my page. Hands down, the best book that I've read so far in 2020. And it's
awesome. Noah Denman illustrated.
Yeah, ties so perfectly into the state of the world right now and what's going on. And just how I feel like this book is just so needed right now at this time. It comes out on July 21st.
Okay, so it's not out yet. Next week.
Yeah, it comes out next week.
Awesome.
Really excited about it.
All right, well.
By Beth, was it Beth Ferguson is her last name, I think?
What was the book? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Washby and the Sea.
Oh, yeah. By Beth Ferry, yeah.
Oh, Beth what?
Beth Ferry, and it was illustrated by Juana Martinez-Neal. She's great. Yeah, they both are.
Yeah, I'm definitely calling that one for a call to cot.
All right, she's won an honor before for Alma and how she got her name, so that's a good one. Cool. Well, those are some great recommendations. I also wanted to so I have this bag. So I wear hats all the time. It's not a bag, it's a hat. I put a bunch of questions inside this hat. Okay. And I'm just gonna every night I'm gonna ask 5 kind of like fast-paced, lightning round questions. Right. And if the answer is something else, not one of the multiple choices, then feel free to say it. So I'm literally just picking random questions out of a bag. So what is the first album you ever bought?
Album, music album. Oh God, I don't even remember.
I mean, it could be a comedy album, I guess. But yeah. No, you don't remember?
I don't remember.
Mine was Young MC. I know mine was a tape. It was a tape, but
Yeah,
yeah.
mine was probably a CD. Yeah. Oh God. Let's say, I don't know, TLC.
Okay, cool. That works. All right. Let's see.
Oh, somebody says Usher, My Way. There you go. Maybe.
That was yours? Okay.
Probably.
Bookstore smell or library smell?
Oh, bookstore smell.
Bookstore smell?
Yeah.
I go with library. I like the musty library a little bit better.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I have this vivid memory of my library as a child. It was like the kids' room was in the basement. It was definitely an old building. It's not there anymore. Now it got turned into like a community center for the elderly. But yeah, that's something. I mean, I'm sure it's just the nostalgia about it. But having read fun books there. But
yeah.
Okay, so that was number 2. Let's see. How many times have you seen the movie Titanic?
Oh gosh, at least 10 times.
No, the answer is 0. I'm sorry, you got that wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I've probably seen it 10 times too.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Have you ever worn jorts? Jean shorts?
Oh, yeah.
Jorts. Yeah, you were, okay. I guess it's more of a guy thing that we don't wear jorts so much. You're wearing jorts right now. Okay, perfect. All right, and the last question for tonight is, do you know your child's social security number by heart? You don't have to say it. You know it, really? Oh, I totally don't know mine. Wow, both of them?
Yeah, I know. I'm very good with numbers.
Okay.
I know my sisters. I'm weird.
Do you remember your phone number from when you were a kid? Do you remember how?
No, maybe not.
Okay. I remember my phone number when I was a kid. I remember some friends of mine. I'm not sure which friends. I just know, like, I dialed 969-0120. Like, I think it's Mike, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
964-0293. I don't know. That might be BJ Novak, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So, anyway. But, yeah. So, that's it. I wanted to keep this short and kind of, casual so that people don't get bored. But I appreciate you joining. Tomorrow night, I'm going to have my friend Jess Keating is going to be joining me. She wrote some of these books.
Okay.
Ocean Speaks. And she did the logo for
that one, the other one.
This one here is The Elements of Genius. It's Nikki Tesla and the Fellowship of the Bling. It's a middle grade novel series. It's really fun. This book 2, I finished book 2. I have book 3. It's the next book I'm going to read. Okay. I'm glad you're not bored. That's awesome.
Yay.
So yeah, and she wrote this one too. Everyone loves this one. It's I love sharing this one on Skype visits. I hold it up to the screen and go, and all the kids go, ew! It's so fun. So I didn't write it, but it's Jess's book. So yeah, she's a zoologist, and we're gonna talk to her tomorrow at 8:00. And thanks for hanging out. It was great to chat with you in person.
Say a couple more. So
Go ahead.
Is Funk your last? Is that your real?
Yeah. It's more common than you think. It means spark in German, which my friend Anna, she looked this up, and because she is from Poland, and I said that my grandfather, who's the Funk, he came from Poland, but she was like, that's not a Polish name. So it's a German word that means spark, and it is usually, people get their last names like Smith or something like that, like if they're a blacksmith. So it is actually a common name for blacksmiths if they weren't named Black or Smith, but they Funk was another name because of the word spark. So it either meant that I descend from a line of blacksmiths or short, annoying, energetic people. And considering I don't have very much tools in my family, I was the first one in my family to own a drill. So I'm pretty sure it's the latter, that we're short, annoying, energetic people. But yeah, if you have questions for me, go for it. That's totally cool. I just There's a lot of Josh Funks out there. There's I couldn't get joshfunk.com. And there's a Josh Funk who has an IMDb page. That's not me. When you Google Josh Funk, I think it's fixed now, but it used to say that I was married to his wife because his wife is an actor. So I had people, there was one time I was doing a school visit and the parent was chaperoning me, and she obviously Googled me in advance and said, "Oh, your wife's from Ann Arbor." And I was like, "What are you talking about? She's from Baltimore." And they were like, "Oh," and I was like, and I realized, I was like, wait a minute, that's this other Funks. But yeah, there's a lot of us. And somebody who worked with, he's a comedian and works in Hollywood, but so someone that worked with him also has read my books and connected the two of us. And so I have emailed him, and his kids have read some of my books, which is kind of cool.
That is
So
so fun.
yeah,
That's
if I ever go out to LA, then maybe we'll have a Josh Funk coffee or something.
yeah.
Or, yeah. But yeah. So all right. Well, thank you so much for the recommendations
Well,
and for hanging out.
let me give you an exclusive because I'm
Ooh.
about to announce this.
I was gonna ask, does this have anything to do with you as a writer? Because you are a writer. You said
well,
you like to write. Have you been writing any books? I should have asked that earlier.
yeah. So I'm writing a book right now
Okay, cool.
with Frank Murphy.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. So it's coming out next fall.
Okay. Next fall, 2021.
2020.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so I'm going to announce this soon. So if anybody from my page is watching, I am starting a podcast.
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah.
Does it have a name?
It's just going to be like, Here We Read.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. One other question that somebody just asked, how do you as a parent recommend getting more diverse books into the classroom at your kids' school with teachers? How do you approach teachers and librarians? Because it's something that a lot of parents want to do, but it's not always received the right way. Or maybe it would be received well and you just don't. But yeah, how do you recommend approaching teachers and librarians to say this collection needs some enhancement?
Yeah, I think that is going to be the topic that a lot of teachers are going to be faced. Well, the ones who want to, or not parents who want to see change within their schools. I think that's going to come up a lot this fall if school starts back up, right? But I think you just have to demand it. You just have to demand it, point blank, period. Like there's no, especially if you're paying for your kids' education, for private schools, I don't think that should, that's non-negotiable. You're paying for your child's education, it's non-negotiable.
Yeah, 100%. But in public schools, yeah.
Schools, you might run into a little bit more.
I would still demand it.
Yeah, especially if some of the educators or the administrators who may not want to do it. But I think you just advocate for your kids and just keep doing it. That's like the big give. I don't really know what else say. I'm fortunate enough where our kids go to a school where they embrace diversity. So
yeah, I'm with you. Demand it. I mean, there's really no reason not to. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But
did I freeze up?
Awesome. Maybe a little bit, but it happens. It's the internet. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being. Oh, it looks like you're back. You're good. Thank you so much for being the first guest ever on this little show. And congrats on your podcast that's coming. When can we expect it?
In September.
Oh, September. Okay, cool. Well, I will be on the lookout for Here We Read podcast. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, I will see everyone tomorrow night. And thank you.